Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our 2014 NFL Draft Special. We're going inside the war room with the San Francisco 49ers. We're going to take a look at their team needs to see what players could be possible selections to help fill those needs. But first, let's start off by taking a look at the upcoming picks the 49ers have in this year's draft.
The 49ers are a very talented football team on both sides of the ball, and they come into the 2014 NFL Draft with 11 picks, 2 second-rounders, 3 third-rounders, and 3 in round 7. Where they have to improve would be at wide receiver. They have to add explosiveness to their passing game. They drafted Quentin Patton last year out of Louisiana Tech, but more is needed. And when you're a team with a lot of young talent, the main thing you want to do is to continue to build depth throughout your roster on both sides of the ball. Now, here are some quick notes to keep in mind when watching this video. Number one, these picks are based off my own rankings of these prospects using my own prospect rankings and my own big board, and it's no way indicative of where I think these guys will actually go in May's draft. And this is the 49ers portion of my total 7-round mock draft. To view my big board, prospect rankings, and other teams' mock draft, visit our website at footballgameplan.com/draft. In the first round, I nab a big-time cornerback prospect, both literally and figuratively, in Stanley Jean-Baptiste out of Nebraska. At 6'3", 218 pounds, Jean-Baptiste was a former wide receiver who has great mirroring skills and excellent ball skills. He'll fit perfectly in that Niners secondary. With the first of their 2 second-round picks, I went with Josh Huff, wide receiver out of Oregon. He's one of the most underrated receivers in this year's draft class, and at the Senior Bowl, he answered all his questions about his route running skills by putting on a clinic all week long. He'd instantly upgrade the explosiveness at the receiver position. The 49ers have the luxury of stashing a player on a deep roster, and prior to his injury at the Senior Bowl, cornerback Aaron Colvin out of Oklahoma was having an impressive week. Once he recovers from that ACL injury, the Niners will have themselves another impressive press corner that has excellent ball skills. Adding depth at the center position with Zach Curran out of Toledo, who is a very athletic player and also is a guy that can play guard if need be because of his versatility. I think he'd be a great addition up front for San Francisco. I'm a big fan of Karan Reed out of Princeton. He was dominant in the Ivy League, a guy that played every position along that defensive line while showing the athleticism to be a stand-up edge rusher as well. I think whomever drafts Reed will be getting themselves a true gem of a defensive player. Staying on the defensive side of the ball, the Niners get another productive and aggressive player in Western Kentucky's linebacker Andrew Jackson. And what impressed me the most this year about Jackson was how much he improved in coverage. He's definitely your ideal 3-4 inside linebacker. There's a lot to like about Cornelius Lucas out of Kansas State. At 6'8", 330 pounds, Lucas played left tackle for the Wildcats, and his footwork is excellent, and he's powerful in the running game. Could be an ideal swing tackle for San Francisco. Another small college dynamo here with Deron Furr out of Fort Valley State. Furr played some quarterback, linebacker, as well as strong safety in college after transferring from Auburn, but his home at the next level and his big hitting ability will be better suited at strong safety. His skills does give the 49ers flexibility on how they plan to use him in their defense. In round 7, I had the 49ers getting better behind Colin Kaepernick with the athletic Brett Smith, the quarterback out of Wyoming, and his quirky delivery didn't stop him from being extremely productive out there in Laramie, and he's also dangerous with his legs, and in my honest opinion, he'd instantly be a better option at number 2 than what's already on the roster. Adding depth on the outside with Jackson Jeffcoat out of Texas. Jeffcoat has all of the athleticism in the world, but needs to become better technique-wise, and landing in San Francisco would allow him the opportunity to polish his game. Rounding out the Niners draft, I go back to the offensive side of the ball with John Brown, the wide receiver out of Pittsburgh State, a Division II program. Don't let the size fool you. Brown can play outside as well as on the inside, and he would also be a dynamic return guy from day one. Recapping my 49ers mock draft, I wanted to get both younger and explosive and also build depth throughout the roster, and outside of the running back and tight end position, every position, quarterback, wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, and secondary was addressed with some outstanding football talent. And I also want to give a huge shout out to 49er fan forums for always showing football game plan support.